Biggest culprit of equipment downtime is not taking care of your machine, not cleaning. All right. Over time, your flour, your dough, it builds up on the working parts of your equipment and starts to calcify, starts to harden,
Right.
limiting the process of the machine. Thereby, by the time we get a call, the machine stopped working.
So I mean, we're not talking about like polishing the machine. We're talking about it's the cleanliness post operation.
That's right.
And it's like getting into the bits that are not usually visible to the naked eye, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, I mean, most of it is just general cleaning. Say your machine has an 8-hour shift, this has got done. On this particular machine, I divided around her 5 minutes after each shift, and she'll treat you right for a long time.
Okay.
It's when you don't do that you run into problems.
Would you suggest, for example, like things that need to be cleaned daily, things that need to be cleaned weekly, things that need to be cleaned
Absolutely.
quarterly? Is that something that's,
that's
common?
That's common.
Or monthly rather? I just jumped over months, you know.
Well, I mean, it really depends on your usage. Now, if you're using this machine daily for your entire shift, right, you'd want to do daily cleaning. You want to do weekly cleaning and monthly cleaning. And each individual cleaning schedule will have different points of interest that you'd hit. And some of these are going to be repeated, but that's the best way to keep your machine running operational for, especially the busy season. Is very important.
The second biggest culprit of machine issues is improper use.
It's a close second.
It's a close second.
It's a close second.
Basically, you take that owner's manual and you go, "This is awesome," and you just throw it out, and then you start using the machine. And there's probably something in there, or there's probably some maybe initial training that the right people were not there, present to the training.
Absolutely. Even if it's something that you've used for years, there might be some little nuance during that training section that you didn't know that could prevent any type of mishap, any type of user misuse. These type of things also, it's close second to cleaning, it incurs downtime, right? So that initial training when the machine gets installed, and sometimes when you have a change of shift or change of personnel, like continual retraining. So everybody's very familiar with the use of the machine.
Well, then we get to, an area you're much more familiar with, and it's now the proper maintenance, the actual mechanical, electrical, pneumatic, if there's a pneumatic system, the maintenance of the equipment. I think this probably ranges from, a small retail baker up to a big wholesaler. You probably have different levels of what you need to be doing.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. With the smaller outfits, they don't have very many machines. The machines aren't vastly automated, or they don't have entire lines, right? The more and more automated you get, the more intense the maintenance is going to be. Obviously, less moving parts, less intensive maintenance. More moving parts, more pieces of equipment towards a line, heavier maintenance schedule. It's things you got to schedule for.
So this is this is probably something that you want to look at. There's something that needs to be looked at weekly. There's things that need to be looked at monthly, quarterly. Is that general gist? Similar to cleaning, it's another thing that needs to be scheduled and needs to maintain on a regular basis.
Most of your manuals will have all this information. Usually in the first 50% of the manual, you'll see cleaning and maintenance instructions. And if for some reason it's not in the manual, I would suggest you contact your manufacturer and get a suggested maintenance schedule and suggested cleaning schedule, and what is included in that cleaning and maintenance schedule. Lots of these pieces of equipment, your basic maintenance is very easy. When we're talking about basic maintenance, we're talking about greasing, checking if your belts are tight. Lots of these machines run on drive belts. All right, so checking if your belts are tight, making sure that since they're rubber, they're not dry, right? It's very easy to see.
Yeah.
These type of things that the end user would do. Some things it's best left to trained technicians, which you can find in any major or minor city in the United States. They're all over the place,
including us. That's right. Another part of the business that you handle, and another thing that you're constantly on the phone about, spare parts.
Spare parts.
So you don't need to have a second set of a machine on the shelf somewhere, but there are for sure critical spares that you should have on the shelf somewhere waiting.
Again, all right. So say just use our divided rounder here for a set of belts, some rounding plates, and maybe on the opposite, a set of springs. Okay. All right, these are things that they break, probably going to go down.
A rounding plate that, well, you might crack because of wear, or
That's right.
belts and gaskets and all these kind of things that ultimately they could dry rot, they can get worn out, they can break.
That's right.
So
So again, you want to keep a small stock of spares. Again, in line with what you see in the manual, what your manufacturer suggests to you that you should keep on hand, right? And what you feel comfortable with spending and keeping on the shelf, right? Ultimately, that little cache of spare parts could be the difference of you going down and waiting for the parts to come in next day air, or being up within an hour, right? So a little bit of forethought into your spares parts will really save you on some downtime too, just in case of emergency.
that's our Baker's Insight for today. If you have any questions on the topics we covered, please feel free to contact us or visit erikarecord.com. Thank you.